Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report, and this is truly is a special edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm doing a position group by position group breakdown of Texas Tech's football roster as we just get closer and closer to kicking off the season. Finally, right? Can't wait for some real football. We're getting really close to it now, and Texas Tech granted just great access this offseason, and I mean, anytime there was an open practice where media was allowed, I was there, to be honest. I don't think I missed one, whether it be in the spring or the fall, because to me, that's just the best data. I mean, don't get me wrong. I also talked with dozens of the players, almost all the coaches throughout this offseason too. Coach Wells, I don't know how many times we had the opportunity to interview him, whether it be in the spring, in Arlington at Big 12 Media Day, and then, of course, through fall camp. Great insight, don't get me wrong, great. But getting to put eyeballs on the players, see how they practice, see the size, the speed, the depth with our own eyes, or for me with my own eyes after doing this, for a couple of decades, it just, to me, that's just the best data. And so I feel like because I was able to have that access, they granted us that access. I do have some experience doing this, and I have put in a lot of time doing it just this offseason. I feel like I have some really good input for Red Raider fans out there about the football team heading into the season. So without further ado, let's start off with the quarterbacks, of course. Why not, right? That's the money position. Those are the guys everybody wants to hear about. And I guess we had some news. I mean, it's official now. Tyler Shough is QB1 for Texas Tech going into the 2021 season, which, I think as soon as he committed, I felt like, okay, he's going to be the guy. 6'5", 225 pounds. He started 7 games for Oregon last year, threw 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 65% almost completion percentage. He was the most efficient quarterback in the Pac-12 last year. And so I don't know what the exact disconnect between him and the Oregon coaching staff was, but bottom line is this is a huge pickup for Texas Tech, obviously. So I knew with him coming in, having talked to him, that nothing was given to him, but that he was going to be given every opportunity to win the starting gig. By the time he did go through spring, and he started at the bottom of the depth chart, but by the time fall camp rolled around, I mean, he was taking every #1 snap. So it was kind of it was a foregone conclusion that Tyler Shough was going to be Texas Tech's starter going into the season. And Coach Wells made that official earlier this week. So what do they have in him? What have I seen? Now, first off, obviously in the offseason, most quarterbacks, they're not going to take any contact. And that changes things. The fear of being hit by some of these monsters they play definitely changes the way the game is played. And some guys it elevates. Some guys, of course, they're not as good. I think Tyler Shough, he seems like a tough guy, stay in the pocket guy, very poised. He showed that in the spring game, or in the open scrimmage in fall camp. He has a huge arm. I mean, he can make all the throws. He does have he has an NFL arm. He's very accurate most times. I think there's 2 things that I would caution on Tyler Shough. One is we talk about his experience, and yes, he did start 7 games last year, but still, that's not a ton of experience. I mean, that's some experience. He's not green, but he's still going to have some growing pains to go through. And then I think too, this is a classic thing that I've seen, really my entire life, even just as a fan before doing this for a living. But is sometimes we have a guy who's confident, with a big arm, who's very accurate. They're going to try and force the ball in places sometimes where it was a bad idea. So I think that's something to watch for Shough. I think that's going to be part of his maturation process that we'll see here at Tech, is learning, okay, maybe I shouldn't try and force it in that spot. But then again, he'll be able to do that and have some success with some of these receivers he's throwing to, like Eric Ezukama, and so these Mason Tharp, the 6'8" tight end. I'm going to go over receivers here in a couple of videos, but he has tons of options in terms of very big wideouts to get the ball to. So he's going to be tempted to say, hey, I'm just going to throw it up, or I'm going to try and throw it to this place and feel confident that they can bring it down. And maybe they will, so we'll have to see. That's going to be something to watch. How does that play out, But those are the 2 things I would caution. Other than that, I mean, by all accounts, he checks every box in terms of leadership. I mean, him helping the offensive line get, you know, NIL deals and stuff like that. I saw him and EZ, Erica Zakama, where they're the last two ones off the field after the scrimmage, getting in extra reps when Mighty Joe and I were doing our you know, rap video. Not rap, but like scrimmage, the rap of the event. You wouldn't want to see Mighty Joe and I actually rap. But, and then, you know, in terms of as a dual threat, you know, he can run. He's got good speed. They will be able to use him in the RPO game, and like I think there'll be even some speed option action with him. So he's an athlete, and he has all the tools. So if he puts it all together in this offense under Sonny Cumbie, I think he's going to be very dangerous, and this offense is going to put up a lot of points. Now, in terms of the rest of the quarterback depth chart, I asked Coach Wells after he announced that Shuck was going to be the starter, is going to be the starter. All right, so what's the competition look like at number 2? And he didn't hesitate. Henry Colombi's number 2. And I know some fans out there are going to grumble at that, but I've seen him, like I said, so many practices and scrimmages now and spring games and all that, and he has been terrific. He truly has been good, and he's experienced. He's won Big 12 games for you, so he knows what Matt Wells wants from him at least. And Sonny Cumbie likes him. So while he may not be, well, he's not as talented as, say, a Tyler Shuck or a couple of guys I'm going to mention here after Henry Colombi. I like Colombi. I like his toughness. I like his experience. He's perfect in the backup role, in that if for whatever reason something happened to Shuck and you needed to play Colombi for a game or two, like, you're not just chalking it up as a loss. You know, because you've seen him do it before, that Henry Colombi could win Big 12 games for you. So, like I said, I know some fans are going to grumble, but I'm telling you, I don't think you're getting all the data. He has looked really good this offseason. Very accurate with the ball. He's shown more arm strength than I've ever seen from him, actually, which he credits to the strength coach, Dave Scholes. So, you know, I think that's the right call, honestly. Now, you have two young guys who I'm really excited about with the future of quarterback play at Texas Tech football. And I'm not sure which one I'm more excited about, to be quite honest. Donovan Smith is a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback out of Friendship. He's the son of running back coach DeAndre Smith. You know, I saw him play a couple games at Friendship. I saw him totally dominate games. I saw the epic quadruple overtime game against Cooper, which I'm sure many of you heard about. It was just a great game. He threw, ran, and caught touchdowns and 2-point conversions and stuff, and willed his team to victory. And he has a lot of arm talent. I think a lot of people will be surprised. Like if you haven't seen him, you would think, oh, he's an athlete because he played receiver as a junior before. But if you see him play quarterback, you go, whoa, this guy's a quarterback. There's no doubt. He was a quarterback playing receiver, not a receiver playing quarterback now. He is very athletic, though, so I like that. I'm a huge fan of Donovan Smith. I can't wait to see down the road, hopefully, what he can bring to the table. And then there's Barron Morton, one of the highest rated guys that Tech has ever signed. I also saw him play in high school. It was at such a small level, 3A. I mean, he was bigger than the offensive defensive lineman and more athletic than all the receivers and running backs. And, you know, that's the thing that there's several things actually about Barron Morton. In terms of like leadership, all that, yeah, what a great dude. What a greght family. I actually met his mom. Of course, his dad's, you know, famous coach, you know, locally, West Texas, famous high school coach. They're now at Eastland, but he's coached, I think he coached at Monterey here, he coached at Midland. So he's done a lot of things. Great family. Barron's a great dude. I don't know how many times I interviewed him in the recruiting process, but really, really cool dude. And he's the kind of guy, he's one of the, like, along with like Shuck and EZ putting up snaps, or putting up passes and getting more reps in. You know, Barron Morton was hanging out signing autographs for the kids and stuff. You know, he's the last guy to leave and doing that and meeting fans. So that's just really cool. But he showed a lot in the scrimmages so far in fall camp. Very athletic. His release is so quick. Once he decides where he wants to throw the ball, in terms of the ball getting out of his arm, the release, the ball getting out of his hand, and then the arm strength to get on target, it's almost at least like a half a second difference between all the other quarterbacks, including like a Tyler Shuck, who, boy, that guy has a cannon too. So there's some real arm talent on this roster. Morton showed off his athleticism with a really crazy hurdle. Like they had the Coach Wells had both Donovan Smith and Barron Morton go live in the scrimmage, which you don't see a lot, and you really got to see Morton's athleticism with him hurdling a defender, and then a really nice 12-yard sprint around the end, down the sideline, complete with a dive for the pylon for the score. So Barron Morton both Smith and Morton are two guys to be really excited about for the future. But then again, Tyler Shuck has 3 years of eligibility remaining. I think Columbia has 2 years of eligibility remaining. Then both Smith and Morton have 4 years of eligibility remaining. So bottom line is, like, all of a sudden this coaching staff has flipped what was like a huge detriment in terms of the quarterback room to a huge plus. The future is very bright at quarterback, and I think it's very bright right now. I can't wait to see what Shuck does against Houston in the opener on September 4th out there at NRG Stadium in Houston. So with that, that's the way the quarterback room looks as of now. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.